wash everything, you know? Wash your balls. Really, guys. Wash your balls. Please. Trust me. Also, pubic hair, which is not, okay, my cat is like totally distracting me right now. Come here, Leon. This is Leon the kitty. He is kind of terrible. But we love him anyway, because that's what you do with cats, isn't it? Isn't it? And he just got one white whisker. Can you see it? So he's very fancy now. I've had him since he was a baby, so he lets me do all kinds of terrible things to him. Like put him upside down. But that's okay, because he does terrible things to me too. My name is Jane Jupiter. About 2 weeks ago, Buzzfeed had me on their video channel to do a live question and answer with some fans and also just other people who happened to be on the channel at the time. I had so much fun talking about my experiences as a porn star and answering like general questions about sex and such, that I thought that I would answer a few more questions that I did not get to. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. That is my little rat, Maxie, suddenly becoming very, very thirsty at this moment right now. How's it like to be known all over the world? And so I'm guessing this person is not from the United States. I've received messages from people around the world. It's pretty cool. I'm not famous or like super well known or anything like that, but you know, it's the age of the internet and people from all over the world can follow me on social media and watch my videos, and I think that is really cool. It's awesome. Deborah Kim asked, are you ever worried about being spotted publicly? Do you worry about stalkers? As an average woman with an office job, I encounter this a lot, and I wonder what it's like for you if your profession requires you to be more stealth. Thank you, Deborah. That's a really good question. Also, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with stalkers and creepy guys just working in an office, but I totally understand that, unfortunately, that is the reality for a lot of people. So I'm not really worried about it, honestly. I know a lot of sex workers have to be pretty worried about things because maybe they have like kids or maybe like they're not out to their family or that kind of a thing. So the possibility of, you know, like someone really trying to get involved or ruin your life or whatever is a big deal for them. It's not really for me. I don't have kids. I don't plan on having kids. My family already knows what I do. So, you know, so in that way, I'm pretty safe. And, you know, I don't mind people saying hi when I'm out and about as long as you're not like super creepy about it. Eulalia Cartwright says, how old were you when you started? So I was 20, I think. No, I think I was 21. Yeah, I was 21 when I started webcamming. That's how I first got into like the sex industry, if you will. And then I started doing porn. So again, like most of my stuff is self-shot, the vast majority of it. So it's either self-shot, I have hired a videographer at times, so, you know, I don't really work in the mainstream porn industry. It's more of like a, you know, home-based operation kind of thing. So I got into doing that a couple years after I started camming, so I was probably, I think I was like 24, 23, I don't know. It kind of all blurs together after a little bit. Orlando Vasquez has a question that he thinks is very important. He has put little, like, emergency symbols next to it, and he says, at some point, do you ever feel bad about yourself? Or are you just a sex addict? Thank you, Orlando. No, I don't feel bad about myself. I don't think that anyone should feel bad about themselves if they are living in a way that they think is good. If you're living up to your own standards, then it's fine, you know? If I didn't like having sex, I didn't like people seeing me, if I didn't like being on, like, you know, on display and that kind of thing, then porn wouldn't be for me, and, you know, it would probably make me feel pretty bad to be in the adult industry. So at that point, obviously, to be true to yourself, you should leave. However, as a person who is, by the way, not a sex addict, I don't feel that way, you know. I like what I do a lot. I like being involved in the sex industry. So no, I don't feel bad about myself. I take care of myself. Everything I do is really safe. I get tested for STIs all the time. This was a question that was like really prominent in the in the live chat. I don't know exactly why people are so surprised to hear it, but yes, I get tested quite a lot, and to be an active porn star in the mainstream porn industry, you have to be tested every 2 weeks. So yeah, 2 weeks. That's way more than most people get tested. So sorry, my cat is throwing a fit. Reviewbra says, have you eaten more hot dogs or dicks? It's a great question. I was vegan for 8 years, and I'm just now coming out of being vegan, I guess for the past like year and a half or so. And I haven't had a hot dog in that time because I don't remember them being very good, and they're like kind of gross. So I have definitely eaten more dicks than hot dogs in my life. Renita Ann says, how do most people act when they realize you are an adult film actor? So I don't, like I said, I don't get recognized all the time. So in general, it's just like if people seem cool, then I will tell them when I meet them and when we're talking, you know, that I work in the adult industry. And I can usually tell if they're going to be okay with it or not. So I'll tell the people that I know are cool. And if they're not okay with it, I just don't tell them. Yeah, so I've only had a bad reaction, I think twice, and once was a girl that I thought was okay with it, but then she ended up asking me a lot of questions about, like, you know, if I'm dirty, and I don't know, just about, like, really presumptuous things about STIs and stuff. And then another one was a guy who thought that he could then ask me to do a lot of sexual acts right then and there with him because, well, I'm a porn star, so I do them anyway, so it's not a big deal, right? Don't do that. What is the best position for a beginner? So first off, I'm going to say the missionary position, it gets so much flack, and it's a good position. It's right there, you know? You have the sex, you have the kissing, you have, it's all great. Just, it's good. And it's also a really good position for you to realize, like, how low the vagina is, because it's a lot lower than what most beginners think. So start with missionary, why not? Or if you didn't want to do that at all, then start with, you know, girl on top, like cowgirl. That's really good if you know, are worried about your rhythm or something. Then she can take care of the rhythm for you until you kind of figure out what's going on, and then you can switch it up. So that would be my advice. Nicki Minaj asked me a question. Holy shit, Nicki. Amazing. Nicki asked me, poop accident? Question mark. I have never had a poop accident on set. No. Would you masturbate with school supplies? All of the school supplies that are coming to my mind are sharp. They're, you know, pencils, scissors, I guess a glue stick. That's probably the best that we're gonna do there. Anyway, he also asked me, how big should be the dick? Well, this actually was a question that seems like it was asked kind of a lot, and I didn't get to it during the Buzzfeed thing, so I will do it now. Does size matter? So size is not nearly as important as being a good lover. And honestly, I don't want to freak you out, but most women can tell if you are a good lover by the time you are putting your P in her V. I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. I don't know what I can say and what I can't say, but yeah. So by the time that you are putting it in, she can usually tell, even by then, if you're good in bed or not. And the reason for that is You know, you are not going to be bullying or guilting her or whatever. It's just going to be consensual fun in which you are being really open to her signs of what she is into and what she's not into. Also, sex is not just P&V, you know, it's really not. It's been said before that the biggest sex organ you have is your brain, and it's true. So start early, start with your brain, talk dirty, you know, get her turned on, use your hands, use your mouth, use your words. Yeah, usually she can get signs way before the P and V action that will tell her if you are going to be a good lover or if you are going to just kind of use her body to get yourself off with, which is not fun. You know, to use someone like a sex doll, it's like, unless it's like a specific kink, because that could be hot. But if that's not what you talked about, then no, probably don't do it. Yeah, if she's giving you signs that she doesn't like something, then, you know, switch it up or ask her what she does like. Just because you're really confident that this one thing, like, should absolutely work, or it worked for someone else that you were with. If you continue to do that thing after she's giving you signs that, like, it's not really working, yeah, that's not good, you know? Like, that's a sign that you're not there to really please her as a person. You're just there to kind of, like, do what you feel like you want to do. So, communication and just being open to signs and asking someone what they're into. That's way more important than how big your junk is. This was a question that someone mentioned asking a lot, actually. They said that they were really curious about grooming tips and that I didn't answer it, and they seemed pretty upset. So, I'll do that now. Wash your junk every day. Every day you should be washing your junk. And I'm assuming that, you know, mostly this question was asked by a straight guy, and I think that most of the guys that asked this question, most of the people that asked this question were also straight guys. So, you know, usually mild soap is fine for all guys. So, okay. Anyway. Yeah, wash your junk. Pubic hair is not inherently bad, it's not inherently unhygienic, it's not inherently dirty. So first off, know that. Second off, still wash it every day. If you haven't washed your junk in 6 hours and you are going to get sexy, if you can't jump in the shower, just excuse yourself to the restroom really quick, wash it in the sink, use a washcloth, whatever you gotta do, just freshen it up a little bit. I mean, if you want someone's mouth to be on it, like, you gotta make it clean enough to eat off of. That's the way that I look at it. Now I have cat hair all over my phone. Thank you. Are you always attracted to the people you have sex with? Jacob Huff. So, thank you, Jacob. You know, as an independent porn star, yeah, I pretty much work with who I want to work with. If I find them attractive, that is something that I look at. But in general, you know, attractiveness is one thing, but there are very few people that are just, like, straight up unattractive. Like, the amount of people that are just unattractive, I think, is a lot smaller than what people think. And largely that has to do with, you know, how you present yourself, if you are clean, if you seem like you care about yourself, if you seem like you care about the person that you're with, you know? I mean, that's important. And you can have really, really great sex with someone that you weren't that attracted to in the beginning. You can have really, really great just chemistry with someone that you weren't that attracted to before. And the more that you have that chemistry together or have that sex together, the more attractive they become. Trust me. Yeah, I think people put a lot of emphasis on attractiveness, just as if, you know, you could rate someone 1 to 10 and just look at them and then that's what they are, period. And it's like, it's just, real life is way more complicated than that. It's always going to be dependent on how they interact and what they have to say, and that crazy thing they can do with their tongue. Let's see if there's anything else I didn't answer on here. What is the sexiest thing you've ever filmed? So I don't remember if I answered this or not, but I'll answer it again. I really, really, really enjoy pegging. So pegging, if you don't know, is when a woman wears a strap-on and she makes love to a gentleman's butt. I really don't know what I can and cannot say here. Trying my very best. Yeah, so I like it. I like it a lot. I like to hear guys moan and guys lose control over themselves, which is something that they don't really seem to do in normal sex. Usually it's like, you know, the guy is like calm and serious and maybe he like grunts a little bit or whatever, but this is not that. This makes people react quite strongly and I really like it. It usually comes with like a femdom, domination, BDSM kind of angle to it, so usually in the porn that and most of the porn, usually she is saying like degrading things to him or like humiliating him and maybe hurting him in other ways, and like that's a thing. But personally, I really like just pegging, just normal sex, but kind of switched up a little bit. I think that is super hot. I think that is all I have for you, so thank you guys so much for your questions. I had so much fun answering them. I would love to make more videos soon about sex and porn and anything else that I feel like talking about. So if you want to see those, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to follow me, I'll put the link to my Twitter and my Instagram below.